There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, Dr. Jay Saturni, and we are returning yet again for The Last of Us episode 7. We only have 2 episodes after this, so what would you call this? The ultimate, the pre-penultimate episode? It doesn't matter. Anyway,
pre-finale.
Pre-finale. There we go. I know Grandmaster Hoop likes that terminology. He likes pre-finale.
No, just wait till the penultimate episode.
Well, great. You spoiled the surprise. With me is fellow Yonko host, Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster, you spoiled your surprise. What about this episode? Episode 7. You about it?
Yeah, it was a good episode. I think it's another kind of very condensed episode where you spend time with characters, learn about them, but doesn't necessarily progress the story forward, which is fine because I don't know. In this world, I really just like spending time with the characters versus trying to rush to the end game or the point B that they're trying to get to. So I'm okay with them giving us some more.
That's fair. You heard his voice earlier. Dr. Mondo is back again. He broke his streak last week, damn it. He wasn't here for episode 6. What happened, Dr. Mondo?
And I wasn't there for episode 5 as well. I'm sorry about that.
Was it 5 too? Oh,
yep,
wow.
He's been gone twice. Yeah.
Well, last weekend I was seeing Les Mis. I'm sorry. You know, Les Mis is great.
Oh yeah, Dr. Jace loves Les Mis.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest comedies of this generation.
The disrespect.
Let me tell you, Grandmaster, you cannot sit next to Grandmaster watching the recent outing of Les Mis. You cannot sit next to him.
Recent? That thing was like almost 10 years old.
No, but I went to the theater to see like legit Les Mis. It's like
right, legit Les Mis is probably really good. But
yeah,
we're about to digress. He's about to give you a tangent of his time.
No.
He and our friend Raul were laughing at Javert at the climax of the film.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they were assholes.
You were
like
laughing.
Honestly,
it's terrible.
The worst thing of a really good movie. But I'm just happy to be here and talk again about The Last of Us. Really enjoyed this episode. It was a nice little backstory on Ellie, on how she got to where we see her right now. So time to talk about it.
Definitely a great starting point for kind of just establishing, how did Ellie end up with Marlene? How does she end up with Joel in the very beginning of the series? Some people may know this, some don't. This episode 7, was an adaptation of the Left Behind DLC of the original Last of Us that released in 2013. And then every subsequent release of The Last of Us, like the remaster for PS4, and then the remake, in air quotes, for the PS5, it automatically it was included in the game. So you don't have to worry about buying the DLC. But this was a DLC originally. You had to pay for this to experience Ellie's journey before meeting Joel. And it's practically like shot for shot, literally exactly the same as the DLC, what this episode was. It's Ellie meeting up with her longtime friend Riley, and they're just having a trip through the mall and just having a good time being kids. I will admit they did add some new elements to the episode that kind of, I think, spice things up a little bit. Maybe I'm not remembering the DLC correctly.
I actually didn't play the DLC, so this was totally new for me.
Oh, okay, okay.
This was totally new for me, and again, I'm for it.
How did you feel about this episode? And I mean, like, just in general, like, how did you feel that this episode, like, went exclusively into flashback territory? It kind of just started with, Ellie saving Joel, trying to find out what to do with him, and then boom, we're gonna talk about Riley and how she ended up the way she is.
So,
Well, I think
oh yeah,
Oh,
go, Grandmaster.
well, I think the beginning of the episode actually, comes full circle by the end. Kind of just very much, it's a decision. Ellie's left in like kind of the impossible decision. And so she flashes back to a time where she was also with an impossible decision. So I think it was a good setup in the beginning. Just let's tune in. Joel's still on death's door. He wants her to go find Tommy, go be with him because he thinks he's out. And Ellie is, in the position of what do I do? What do I do? I'm tired of people who I love leaving me or dying. Can I do something about it? And then we get our flashback. And I think it comes full circle and it really solidifies its placement being here in the beginning of the episode by the end of the episode for sure.
Yeah, because like it really starts again in the same position, kind of piggybacking from when Grandmaster Hoop says. But like the difference is that when we see, and we're gonna like talk about this a little bit more in detail, like in the flashback, really there was a choice, but really it was like futility versus futility. There really wasn't, like, the end result was always going to be the same no matter what decision you took. Here, like jumping to the present, there's a very slim chance it's like, okay, I can actually do something about this. Like maybe he's gonna die, but there is a slim chance that I can do something about it and I can solve this problem. So, and again, going to like, I don't want to lose anyone else again. Like that fear of loss, the fear of abandonment that Ellie has that we saw in the previous episode too. Like,
right.
Again, it's like highlighted here, like because she doesn't want to leave Joel. She doesn't want to leave Joel, and Joel like tells her get the fuck out, like go get Tommy. And like she begrudgingly kind of agrees at first, and then she like says no, like I'm not gonna lose someone else, and then she comes back and like patches him up.
I do think that this relationship with Riley really establishes Ellie's character in terms of like how she does not, like, kind of what you said, like she doesn't want to lose anyone else. She's had relationships before Joel. She's no stranger to that. But I kind of like what the behind the scenes episode kind of talked about. She finally experienced with Riley what it was to lose something. And I think even Riley brought it up to them. We're talking about the end already with the the flashback sequence. We haven't even talked about the beginning, but just real quick, the thing with Riley is that even in the end, Riley was basically telling her, Ellie never knew what it was like to actually lose something because she never had something to lose. Kind of. Whoa. What does that remind you of?
That's what Sasuke said to Naruto.
What could you possibly know about losing someone when you never had anyone?
Ooh, that burns. That burns something deep. Oh, goodness.
It burns. But I mean, and I liked watching it because when they, oh God, this is just jumping way ahead, but it just lends itself to the conversation. They get bit, right? They get bit at the end, but Riley doesn't react the same way that Ellie's reacting. Riley's kind of just accepting what's happening. She's like, we're gonna die. We're gonna turn. We're infected. And Ellie's just frustrated.
She's smashing everything.
Right.
Again, it's just like also the teen angst that the moment they had the moment they had right before all that shit happened, it's like it was a really beautiful moment. Like, oh my God, like almost like a moment of revelation for them, and then like, hi, zombie comes in and fucks everything up.
Reminds them what kind of world this
reminds
is.
them what kind of.
I was a little annoyed at this scene. I was like, come on. I was like,
just kill it.
I was like, you both been trained by Fedra. Like, I think they would teach you how to aim or know where to stab. And then you, Riley, were trained by the Fireflies. God dang, come on. Headshot. Let it be over. Come on.
They have her stationed by herself in at a location for a Firefly.
But again, it's like
drop off.
You can train all you want in these facilities, but when the real thing hits, it's totally different.
That's true.
Which I imagine
they're
again.
kids, Grandmaster. They're kids.
Grandmaster Hoop. It's the same. It's the same thing in medicine. You know, it's not the battlefield or anything, but you know, when the real stuff hits the fan, you're shell shocked the first time.
Grandmaster saying that wouldn't be me in that scenario. I would 360 no scope.
I am not saying that.
It charged at me.
Experience is everything. However, your studies should at least prepare you a little bit for the experience.
Well, they knew how to shoot a gun. They were
they just both failed miserably.
Is it just like in Cocaine Bear? Where
just can't aim. I was like, but again, what this episode did, it just really serves up dramatic irony because as y'all said, they are accepting fate. Riley is accepting fate, and the crazy part about it is I don't know how this scene plays out. Dr. Mondo, you said you didn't play this either.
I didn't play the DLC, so this was totally new for me.
So no matter how this plays out, we know Ellie's gonna live from this.
Exactly.
And it adds an extra level of emotion. Of trauma, right?
Yeah, because it's like she thought we're gonna die together. We're gonna Romeo and Juliet this, and then I imagine, they didn't show this, but I imagine that she sees Riley turn, and she's still herself.
Right, like they go to sleep together. Yeah,
and also, if I'm not mistaken, Ellie says in one of the episodes, I think it's episode 4, to Joel, I think this is not the first time I shoot someone.
Ooh. Yeah, no. You're right. She definitely
she says it because when Joel's like consoling her and all that, she said, "This is not my first time shooting someone."
Yeah, it was her second time.
So we know who was the person she shot.
Very much. It seems like it's building up to be Riley, and
it's Riley.
And interestingly enough, I was like, "Oh man, they're cutting it off right here."
Yep,
that's the same way the DLC did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did not show it. Literally beat like line for line. It was like we could go out like all poetic and shit. We don't have to off ourselves. We could just enjoy the moment. And the DLC, at least in terms of like that sequence, like with Riley and Ellie, it like ends there. I don't know if there's something else that happens afterwards where it shows, oh, here's Ellie and Joel or whatever, but that's where it ends, similar to the episode.
Wait, so there is no follow-up scene?
There's no follow-up scene. You in the game, you do not see Ellie shooting Riley.
So it's ambiguous. You have to put it together.
You have to put it together because
look at that. I like
tragic.
that.
It's tragic.
It's like, again, it leaves it to us to imagine the unfolding of this tragedy.
No, I like that. I honestly like that. I did not think that's how they were going to do it. Time out. Just for like a reference point, did this DLC come out for part 1 or part 2?
Part 1. So the original Last of Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
I
DLC.
feel like I remember seeing like trailers for this DLC, but nothing more after that.
It was nothing crazy. Like it wasn't real. Like if you were going in expecting like, oh, I'm gonna be sneaking around like killing bandits and zombies in this DLC, it was nothing like that at all. It's literally what this episode was. It's you going around the mall playing games with Riley, and
I'm just gonna say this. So you had to pay for that?
You had to pay for that. I don't know. I could probably look it up to see how much it was.
I like story wise. Story wise, it's great. Great story wise. It gives us a good little backstory of what made Ellie. But damn, you gotta pay for that.
Come on. How much was it to do this?
I'm trying to look it up. I think it was
like for walking around the mall playing arcade games. Yo. that's a hell of a scam.
I think it was $10.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
It would be 5 in my book, but I'm just a cheat.
I've heard of worse DLC pricing.
Yes. I think for what it was, like just a brief little romp with like, Ellie and Riley and just experiencing their story, because it is a tragic story. It's like, oh, here's more Last of Us tragedy. Give me $10.
Here's some more tears.
Here's some more tears. But if you buy the remastered or the remake, it's
remaster.
Yeah, I ain't doing no remake.
It's the definitive way to experience it.
It's okay.
Hello, scam.
How did you guys like kind of like their adventure through the mall? Like, did you feel like it was slow? Were you here for it?
I'm here for it. So funny enough, I do this thing where I compare to other similar shows. Now, I did not compare this to like The Walking Dead, or I actually compared this to Stranger Things. Stranger Things 3, where
where they're in the mall,
when they're in the mall. Yeah, absolutely. Where Eleven and Max have their little mall day, and like they're running around to like Madonna's Material Girls playing in the background. Same episode where Elle tells Mike, "I dump your ass."
Yes, iconic.
So
honestly, she should have made it like permanent, because Mike is an asshole.
Let's not digress. we can go on for days for why Mike is not the best in Stranger Things, but I couldn't help but compare, because I was like, here we have our primary female leads just trying to have some escapism from their the control, like Mike was trying to control 11, Hopper's trying to control 11, Ellie is being controlled by Fedra, and she has this preconceived idea of the outside world and the Fireflies. And here you have characters like Max and Stranger Things, and you have Riley just trying to show them it's not everything that they told you. It's there's a lot more going on. Let me just show you some fun. Let's have some fun together. Let's
very Aladdin combat. Very Aladdin and Jasmine, like,
wow, that's a great analogy.
I can show you the world.
Ellie is Jasmine and Riley is Aladdin.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely. No, to be honest, the theme of being locked up in your tower and not knowing what the outside world is like.
They just needed to play They just need to play that song.
Gosh darn it! Now
Riley appearing outside her window as Aladdin on the carpet.
Now I'm getting like Rapunzel and Flynn Rider vibes too.
Dude, let's just play a whole new world throughout this entire episode, and it makes total sense.
An escalator, moving stairs,
the little things. She's impressed by the little things.
The little things. You're right. I'll tell you what, I think one thing that really I keyed into was when they went to the Victoria's Secret, and not because I was like, oh, she's like, oh, I'm trying to picture you in this, but no, in my head, I'm like, yo, they probably don't have standards of beauty in this world. Like Victoria's Secret is a store meant to make people feel beautiful about themselves and to show off that aspect of them. And in this world, this post-apocalyptic world, they're probably not thinking of that.
Survival is number one on the list.
It's considered a leisure, because I think even Riley pointed it out, saying like, yeah, some stores were rated for what people thought they needed, so they're empty, but you have stores like Victoria's Secret that is still filled with all of its merchandise and everything. So yeah, there's probably like for the women in general in The Last of Us, there's likely not a beauty standard. Like there's no like, ooh, how do I look in this? You know what I mean?
There's also no like outside pressure to be like, what are you doing to make yourself beautiful? Are you buying the latest makeup? Are you buying the latest
can we
lingerie?
survive first?
Chanel.
Right.
Coral
In the
Blue number
post-apocalyptic
75.
world.
So I really enjoyed that little moment because Ellie stops and she like does her hair real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like also I think the episode did a really good job because I was like, I know Ellie is attracted to women, and I know this basically from what I know about The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh wow, spoiled.
Oh yeah, no, I knew already. But I was like, oh, when she like stopped and did her hair, I was like, oh, Ellie, how cute.
No,
Like,
but even before that, there was already like a sign that she liked Riley much more than a friend.
yeah, ever so much, yeah. It's
Like because
Right.
like when Riley goes into her room and she's changing, it's just like she's shy and all that. Very like she goes and Riley's like, I don't know why you always make such a big deal of this something. And, and it's just like it's obvious why she's making such a big deal about this.
well, yeah, because she's like, I care what I look like to you, so
Exactly.
don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
It's cute. It was a cute little
No,
kid like
was really
romance, you know?
It was nice. They had like this little adventure through the mall. They they played some Mortal Kombat. That was kind of cool that they actually showed Mortal Kombat. Like they
No, but like there was another little thing about because me not having played that DLC, it was pretty cool because I think when they're playing Mortal Kombat, the camera flips as though they're being looked. Like they're like as though so they're playing Mortal Kombat
Right.
or something, and the camera, the way it's showing them playing at one point, it's as though there's something like behind other machines looking at them. And
I think I know what you're saying.
like me having not played this DLC, so I didn't know what to expect from this. I was like, oh, the zombie's gonna pop up and gonna kill and it's gonna attack them now.
So,
And like at many points during the episode, I was like, oh, the zombie's gonna come out now. And it didn't. And I was like, oh shit, it didn't.
So hold up. Let me ask you guys this, since you went into this completely blind. You have these two characters coming into this mall. Ellie was saying that this mall was closed off because it's, it had infected in it. And Riley's very confident, like, there's no infected here. Like, relax, Ellie. Did you expect infected to come in at some point?
Yeah, because they make allusions to this in the second episode. When I think it's when they're walking with Tess, Joel, and Ellie, I think it's like at some point it pops up the mall. And it's like, and I think Tess is like, wait, you went in alone to the mall?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes,
oh,
they did
like,
say that. They did.
And like Ellie, I think like dodges the question.
She does.
She dodges it. So that like them being in the mall, I was like, oh yeah, I know what this is.
Grandmaster,
this is where Ellie.
If you remember when they said that line, I told you back when we did episode 2, I was like, remember this because they're probably gonna touch on this.
I did not remember.
So like they've been foreshadowing this particular like moment, this particular flashback for a while. Like in the second episode, we see it in the fourth episode. Ellie saying, this is not the first person I shoot. Obviously, they're not going to show that scene, but we know what happens.
Let me just say this. The moment, she says, oh, they just want you to think that there's infected in here. I was like, there's probably at least one infected.
Oh, yeah.
And from the moment they enter the mall, they really kind of emphasize a lot of the sounds they're making. So like they're jumping down and they are being so loud with their stomps when they land and they keep going. I was like, damn, they're being really loud. Now again, we have all these other episodes to showcase why being quiet is important. Even if you don't think this place is ridden with infected, which Riley has been staying there for a good amount of time, I guess quiet enough to not attract any infected. But now she's being, I guess, she's, Ellie's here, so she's trying to show her the four wonders of the mall, to the point where they're just being careless. So the whole time I'm like really honing in on all the noise they're making, especially in the beginning too. Like just as I said when they're hopping down, but I was like, something is going to happen. There's no way this is a happy ending.
Oh yeah, that zombie came out. It's like, what do a zombie got to do to get some fucking sleep around you being so loud? These youngins.
They play in Mortal Kombat, just smashing those buttons. He's like, damn it, I can't sleep here.
They out here blasting Etta James. Good song, don't get me wrong, but come on, you gotta.
Zombie's like, I want to sleep, goddamn it.
He's like, I've been asleep for 20 years. I was supposed to sleep for another good 50 until you goddamn kids came in here.
Now you gonna sleep. That's what
he got the chunk on both of them. I mean, we already talked about this already. That zombie got a clean bite on Riley, clean one on Ellie. And I think it was timed perfectly the same way that it was timed in the game. And I think even in the behind the scenes, they were like, we wanted to give this is Neil Druckmann talking, like he wanted to give that feeling of like excitement, a feeling of peace with Ellie and Riley, where, you know, after they kiss, it's like, oh man, this is like, we'll figure something out. Because Riley was set to leave with the Fireflies after this. But, you know, once they had that moment, she was like, you know what? Screw the Fireflies. I'll go back with you, Ellie. And it's like, oh, wow, she's really going to stay and they're going to be together for forever and ever. And then boom, they hear that sucker coming in. And he ruins it. He ruins it for both of them.
Classic pull the rug from under.
Very classic pull the rug. Very classic pull the rug. But yeah, no. And then I guess this is kind of like, you know, once, you know, Riley and Ellie have their little moment, that's when it transitions back to Ellie kind of up on the staircase running away from Joel, and she's like, nope, I'm not losing anyone else. Not happening. I'm not going to go through that feeling again. And it's very poetic because, again, it goes back to that scene from episode 6 where Ellie was getting frustrated with Joel for leaving her and forcing her to go with Tommy to the Fireflies. And she's like, everyone that I've known has either died or left me. Yep. And she doesn't want to lose Joel, and she doesn't want to lose him right now either. She's not going to abandon
it's just
him.
Like Ellie's periods of happiness have been fleeting, like have been very, 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 very short. Just when everything she feels everything is going great, that's when she loses it. With Riley, and even like the last episode, wow, they're finally in this settlement, look at all this cool stuff. She was like super freaking happy, and then like Joel was gonna abandon her and she was like, wow, like I can't catch a fucking break. And it's like every time she's at her happiest, that's when like the reality of the world or whatever kicks in. And again, like going like very Sasuke Naruto, when she finally gets something, it's only for her to lose it.
What could you possibly know?
But it was also, you know, what also makes this, I think, this kind of venture into the mall really good was, again, there was a lot of good commentary on kind of Fedra and how they kind of warped her mind.
Yeah.
You know, like, Fireflies, they don't liberate anybody. They're just terrorists that are looking to kill Fedra soldiers. You know, the commander, he talked about the two paths of, you know, that Ellie had in life, which was either, you know, you be a grunt or you be a leader. And then you have Riley showing her another path, you know?
No, and Riley telling her, yeah, they put me on shit duty.
Oh yeah, that's why she left.
That's why she left, and I'm like, good for you, Riley.
I'm not gonna
Right.
be on poop duty. Why?
Poop
I
duty.
thought it's funny because like I don't even remember if this was like a talking point in the DLC. I don't think it was anything complicated. Like Riley left and joined the Fireflies and then came back. Maybe it was a thing. I just don't remember it. But I just find it funny that you would think it's something more poetic as to why she left. Like,
he was
oh,
like,
they're
nope.
fascists. They're
He's like, I was gonna be seeing shit my entire life. Fuck that.
not doing it.
it.
Not doing the poop. I'm not doing the poop.
Well, she's not shoveling the poop. She's
No, she's watching people
Guarding
shove
the people
poop.
show, but
Right.
you know those people are gonna splatter some of that stuff on
They're
her.
gonna fling it. You know, they're really gonna fling it. They're gonna be like, we're gonna strike, and they're just gonna start flinging it. You know,
Just,
I'm not for that.
man.
I mean, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. But yeah, I think it was, it's an interesting commentary as far as, the person who got away from the fascist movement versus the person who's really kind of ingrained, who felt like she got left behind, so she has no. Oh,
Yes, that's why it's called that.
Wow.
I'm
okay.
pretty sure the episode's called also Left Behind.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the name of the DLC and the episode.
Wow. Okay. So Ellie being the one that got left behind, now she's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna lean into this Fedra idealism and just kind of run with it and fuck anybody who's got something to say. What was the girl's name? She put in stitches.
Bethany, I think it was.
Bethany.
And like Bethany was like, "Oh, your friend does the fighting," and she's like,
"You think?
You think?" And then like 15 stitches later.
15. That's insane.
And the hole does nothing to Ellie. Apparently, she's been in the hole a good amount of times.
He's been like 3 times in the hole, and he's like, "It's not gonna do anything for you. Like, let me try something different here."
It's crazy. But she's willing to go back. Apparently, she was willing to go back with Riley.
She was ready to go back. Yeah,
she was ready.
No, and we also see Ellie's propensity for jokes as Riley.
The puns. Yes, that was encouraged a lot by Riley.
Very much into jokes.
I like that about Ellie. She's always silly, always trying to look on the brighter side of things.
The screenshot one was funny because they didn't get it.
Oh, they didn't get it. Yeah.
And we were like, ha, ha,
ha. Oh, right.
How does a computer get drunk? It takes
they don't know what those are.
He's like, they're like, I don't understand him.
That was perfect. There's a lot of good like small moments in this episode. I feel like you could go back and like pinpoint like each and every one. It's definitely an episode that you're supposed to appreciate the smaller things that are happening. Yep. How even them taking the photos inside of that photo booth with the goofy.
Oh man, the romantic tension was built really nicely.
Yeah.
I definitely was like, is it just best friend vibes? Is it big sister vibes? And then they get in the photo booth, and I was like,
oh no, that's like that's
question mark.
That's some crush vibes.
Well, I was like, they probably don't even know what the cliche thing to do in a photo booth is, so they're probably gonna not kiss in the photo booth.
They just make silly faces.
They got close to each other a couple of times, like oh, and then
there were a couple times when Riley like Ellie looked at Riley like she was waiting.
Yes.
I don't know, but then she would get mad, and then she would say, I'm going back to I gotta wake up in like 2 hours."
Yeah, no, very much. I think she was very much kind of waiting for that sign that says, hey, you're into me as much as I'm into you. I think that was definitely a thing. And then sure enough, it was a mutual thing. And I did a little cheer when they kissed. I was like, ooh, yay, Ellie. I couldn't help it. I was invested. And again, I give credit to Bella Ramsey again. She's really been hooking me lately. I'm buying into her acting. And then shout out to Storm Reed. Again, HBO alum. Haven't been on Euphoria. And she's been in other things too. She was Idris Elba's daughter in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's now I was like, I recognize her from somewhere. Yes.
And
Yes,
then
from Suicide Squad.
I don't know if anybody's seen this. I know people feel mixed, but I know they said she did a good job. A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard she
like the
was
movie's
good.
horrible. The
Yes.
movie's horrible. The
But
movie's
they said
absolutely
she was
horrible.
good.
No, she was good. I remember, I
Yeah.
remember that she was pretty good, but the movie's trash.
Yeah. No, I really bought into her goodness at when she started crying. Well, I mean, throughout I was like buying into her, but I think she really solidified it when she's like, there's another thing to break over there if you're still mad type of vibe. And, you know, as we talked about, she's just very accepting of the fate and whatnot. Yeah, I think she
Right.
did a good job here for her, you know, her one DLC worth of episode. Sad to see her go. But it's definitely hangs over Riley's head like a halo kind of
Ellie.
sorry, yeah, hangs over Ellie's head. You know, just this event, you know, it was a great night, and then you're reminded the realities of this world that they live in. You're never safe, to be honest.
Never safe. Never at all. But yeah, no, it looks like I mean, it's really not at all odd to believe that I think Ellie's gonna keep Joel safe. I think she'll manage to stitch him up and keep him alive. And for next week, God, these next two episodes, these last two episodes of The Last of Us are going to be, I think, the strongest episodes of the season.
Really?
Yes, because I did. This is exactly what I called last week. I was like, I already know what they're gonna do. The 7th episode is gonna be full on Left Behind. Then episode 8 is gonna focus on Ellie taking care of Joel and what happens when she, in the process of her taking care of Joel. And then the final episode, episode 9, is gonna be the finale, which, if for anyone that's played the game, knows what happens in the finale. But this sequence right here, episode 8 coming up, you're gonna see like kind of what Joel and Ellie's bond really is. You kind of already know what it is right now, but you're really going to see it in episode 8. Because episode 8, assuming they keep everything the way that it was in the game, this is gonna get dark. This is gonna get dark. So we'll see. We'll see. I liked this sequence of events where Ellie has to take care of Joel from the game because, again, she's the caretaker now. It's kind of like the roles are being reversed. She's the caretaker. She has to take care of Joel.
Let me ask: are you playing as her in the game at this point? Like Joel's out of commission. Do you take the reins of Ellie at this point?
Yes, you do. You do control
Okay.
Ellie.
So like this is like the first time you take control of Ellie in the game.
This is the first time you take control of Ellie. Yes.
So as a gaming experience, you're like, ooh,
This is Ellie. What's going on here?
okay.
So
I buy that.
that was pretty cool. That was a memorable sequence, and I just can't wait to what they're gonna cover because Joel and Ellie are gonna go through some trials, and I really can't wait.
Did you catch who's appearing?
Okay. Which one of those was Troy Baker? Because I could
Oh,
not
okay, so
tell.
you don't know his face.
I really don't know Troy. He does not have. Every time I look at Troy Baker, I'm like, I can't pick you out from a lineup. I just can't.
Oh, I can pick him up if he's like lined up with people. I recognized him. I'm trying to see if I can pull up where he was. No, that's him. So here he is. Troy Baker, aka the OG Joel from the games,
The OG
making
Joel.
his series debut. Here, let me see if I can get this image right here. He was the guy holding one of the sniper rifles. Like two guys got prominent lines in this preview. There was like that Reverend looking dude, and the other one was Troy Baker.
Okay. Okay.
So Troy Baker's here. It's cool.
Troy Baker's here.
So right here, to my right. No, I'm sorry, to my right here. Go ahead. You can't see my mouse.
To it.
Yeah, to your right.
Right here. That's Troy Baker.
That's Troy Baker. There was no way. There was no way I was picking him out.
Yeah, no. I recognize him. That's Troy Baker right there. So it should be very cool. Troy Baker's here. Clearly not playing Joel. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Mondo, you only played the first game.
I only played the first game.
Do y'all know, is this character prominent, or is it like this guy's the prominent guy?
That guy is the prominent. Is he the leader? The
yeah,
leader?
This guy I think is the leader.
He's the prominent one. He's the prominent one, and you're gonna hate him.
Ooh,
for a good like you're gonna hate him for like the good like wow, what a despicable person.
I mean, he's giving off terrible vibes already.
Did you get like cultist vibes a little bit from the episode?
Yeah, kind of twisted religion type of like mentality. Like, yeah, definitely I get like bad vibes. Yeah,
but can't wait for episode 8. Gonna be exciting. Any final thoughts on episode 7 with like Ellie and Riley? Again, it's a very simple episode. It's just straightforward. It just covers Ellie and Riley's relationship and just re-solidifies how she views Joel and how she's not gonna leave him behind.
And also, it's a good calm before the storm.
A good calm before the storm. I think you need this because the next 2 I really mean this, the next 2 episodes are gonna be a roller coaster. So this is this is a good palate cleanser to be like, all right, get ready. Things are about to get wild.
I just feel I'm good with an episode like this and a series like this. It works. I don't feel they're prolonging the end game or like to get to point B. I think it just feels like a necessary piece just to kind of, they're like, hey, these are our 2 characters, Joel and Ellie, learn about them. You invest in their journey. You invest more with more that you see from their past. So I will take this, and I enjoyed it. So it's hard to say. It's like, do I want more action? I am okay with if I don't get like an episode full of action if the acting is top notch, which I felt was really good here.
Honestly, like that has been a thing with most of the show. That's like there have been like parts of action, you know.
Right.
But what's really held the show are the characters themselves. And that's like kind of going in again, like it's inevitable. Like we've already kind of compared it a bit to The Walking Dead, and I'm gonna do this again because The Walking Dead, sure, like it has its characters and all that, but The Walking Dead, what really holds it on is like these badass moments. Granted, they're obviously moments of the characters, but this show, it's like we don't need these over the top badass action sequences to hold our show down and keep you glued to the screen and make you feel or be invested in the characters. It doesn't need that. It just has a top-notch story, top-notch writing, and like a great cast and acting of said cast. That, you know, again, you don't need all that action to keep me glued to the screen. It's almost like when like a very good singer comes in and, you know, that doesn't need all the lights, all the dances and all that to keep you glued. They can just be sitting down, singing to you, and that's all you need.
They don't need hairography.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Like that is The Last of Us. The Last of Us is that great singer that just needs to sit down with a mic and sing in front of you because they're that good.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Walking Dead, majority of the characters are caricatures versus actual characters. They feel like they belong in that world. They feel over the top. They feel over the top for like comedic purposes, for evil purposes.
Yeah, and again, like that's totally fine. It's a different type of show.
Yeah, it works in that show.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a different, like, it's not my kind of show. Because like I dropped The Walking Dead, but again, like it's that kind of show. I can appreciate it. But this for me, it's higher end. It's like it's even harder to achieve. Again, like you're having a zombie apocalypse show that's holding themselves together because of such a tight script and just great actors.
It's
that's in a genre that is zombie apocalypse, because zombie apocalypse tends to be very action heavy, super action heavy. With the I think the only zombie apocalypse movie or like series movie that wasn't action heavy, and they, in my opinion, didn't do a good job. And I don't know if this is a hot take or not, by the way. I Am Legend.
Oh.
Like
I Am Legend.
Like when I'm talking about like zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, there's
like the only one that isn't like full blown action that I remember before Last of Us is I Am Legend.
Which is okay, because I think a lot of people regard I Am Legend for its acting than its actual like zombie.
Yeah, and again, like I Am Legend, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. But Will Smith does a good job there.
Right. Yeah. I think
like Will Smith does a really good job in that movie. Granted, like with the tools he is given in that movie, he does a great job.
Everybody says Will Smith and that dog are the biggest takeaways from that movie.
No, like yeah.
They're on the cover of the poster.
You don't even care about the zombies in that movie.
Exactly.
And similarly to The Last of Us. You care more about the characters than the actual zombie bit. So
but it's like
funny enough,
in a genre that is pretty action predominant, having this and like even more grounded in realism to a certain degree, it's much more raw. It's very nice. Like The Last of Us, I'm really liking it. Again, the game is really good. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is one of the best games in the history of gaming for me. Because I kind of predicted the ending.
Did you?
Yeah. The ending was pretty obvious.
Interesting.
The ending is obvious.
Dr. J says BS.
the ending is obvious.
Grandmaster, is the ending obvious right now? Do you get any? What are your thoughts on like where you think the story's going? I just want to see how obvious it is for someone going in blind.
I have no idea.
Don't try too hard. Just
no, I
honestly
don't know. I thought that again originally I thought they were going to California, and they're not going to California. So no, I don't.
This isn't Horizon Forbidden West.
I mean, I obviously know that both of them live, but I do not see the end game in sight. I really don't.
That's the part that really sucks, because there's a squeakquel and both of them are in it. So it's like the stakes are kind of like, well, they clearly don't die.
Well,
obviously.
I mean, they could take any route for the non-gamers listening. It's been more or less 1-to-1. However, I guess they can diverge.
They greenlit a season 2. They already greenlit, and if you're doing a season 2, just work with what you got already. It's already there.
But no, I honestly can't. I don't know how this is gonna end. I didn't know. I mean, no, I don't. No, it's simple. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see how obvious it is after episode.
I found it obvious. Like, again, it's not that I hate like the game The Last of Us. I enjoyed it. It's just not like For me, it's not Elden Ring level.
We're not making that comparison.
No, I mean like iconic, the most whoa game. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to say. Obviously, very different games, but
I do expect you to be here for our episode 10 review.
wait, episode 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. Episode 9. I want you to be there so that way when we talk about it, I'm gonna remember this moment. I'm gonna say, Dr. Mondo, tell me at what point in this sequence did you know what was gonna happen?
And I'm gonna be like, I knew. Mic drop. I'm gonna leave.
Oh
the
man,
podcast.
I can't wait. Only 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. 2 more.
2
weeks.
more weeks.
2 more weeks.
But-
2 more to go.
2
No,
more
but
to go.
honestly, The Last of Us has been really, really good. You know,
It has been really good. It has been really
Like,
good episode.
way to make an oversaturated genre fresh again,
This is the way to do it.
and
So,
way to pave the road for future video game adaptations.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes,
ugh.
that one. That one. That's
don't know.
important.
Way to pave the way. Again, you're there. Last of Us is giving the
do
blueprint.
we want to give that honor to The Last of Us? as if
If
it
we're
was the
talking
first
series,
one?
Like,
if we're talking
Series?
live action series.
Are we
Last of
talking about
Us-
adaptations or series?
Okay. Okay. Well, there's 2. You got to look at movie adaptations, then you got to look at
you can say
series
Sonic.
adaptations. Sonic,
I could
yeah,
say
Sonic's doing
Castlevania.
Castlevania.
Oh
of
no,
course.
but I'm talking about live action.
Live action. No, I mean I
Live
can't think
Because
of
like
another series.
Castlevania is freaking amazing. You have Cyberpunk. You have
Isn't Sonic live action? Didn't we have this debate on whether it's animated or live action?
It
Sonic
is
is live
live action. It's just a movie versus a series.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope
For a live
that
action series.
I hope that people see that it is possible to have high quality video game adaptations, and that again, you have the source material. Just know when to kind of almost copy and paste the source material, and know when to expand on it, because The Last of Us is doing a great job on that.
Right. This is
So
a
I
fair
hope
warning
I hope
to-
God of War
that's what I was gonna say.
is gonna be
This is
great, and I hope
This.
Assassin's Creed by Netflix is gonna be good,
Oh god, yeah, that's still in the pipeline.
because I'm a hell of an Assassin's Creed fan, and I was very pissed by the movie.
the movie was pretty terrible.
It was terrible. Like
Brendan
I was
Fraser could not save that
like,
at
no,
all.
Michael Fassbender could not save that.
Brendan.
movie.
I said Brendan Fraser.
Dude, like,
Oh my god.
Like Michael
Can you
Fassbender-
imagine Brendan Fraser in an Assassin's Creed movie?
Like, I'm gonna say
Requiescing Pace.
Netflix. Look at Last of Us.
Look at Last of
because
Us.
This
Look at
is what you need to do.
is what you need to do. This
Assassin's
is what you
Creed.
need to do. God of War, same thing. This is what you need to do. Let Halo from Paramount Plus be the thing of what not to do. Let that be an
Exactly.
example, because that was terrible.
Oof.
But
Eh.
yeah, very But I would say that pretty much wraps up our thoughts on episode 7 of The Last of Us. Only 2 more after this, and we are done, and we'll just have to wait for season 2. I guess you don't have to play the game. You could just wait till season 2 drops, and there you go. There's your
Or you
there's
can
your-
play the second game.
I don't recommend playing the second game.
Yeah, me neither. Like I didn't play it, but I have heard
It's fun
I've
to
heard
talk
really
about.
bad
It's fun to
stuff.
talk about. I
no,
like
like I've
talking
heard
about
really
it.
bad stuff. How it just like destroy, like how it just
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that for now. Let's enjoy season 1 and all of its part 1 glory. But let us know what you all think in the comments below of episode 7 of The Last of Us. Were you here for Riley and Ellie's journey that kind of just left them in shambles and ended up in tragedy right before Ellie meets up with Joel? And where do you think the series is going to go from here? We have 2 episodes left. Do you think it's going to be a one-to-one adaptation of the game of what we have left? Or do you think they're going to expand on some material? I can't say. I don't remember there being like a religious fanatic thing going on in the game, so that seems like something new. I think for the direction the show's going in. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I wonder what else they'll change, but let us know what you all think in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And if you'll give us a like, let us know what you thought overall. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at the Yonko Table. Let us know what you think of the episode, and we'll catch you next time. I'm your Yonko host, Dr. Jace Attorney, fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop, and Dr. Mondo. What's one of the songs that they sing?
Oh, they did take on me.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Take me on.
Take on me. I'll be
No, I'm not hitting that note. Screw that.
Gross. Nope. Gross. Enough.